You so much for joining me here at the Crow Cottage. Today I am not live. I am just going to be dead, I guess is the opposite of live, but that's not true. I'm actually alive now. When you're seeing this, I'll be on vacation. So you are going to be just watching me all on my own. But I think the project that I'm doing today, you're going to really like. I'm going to do this cute little folder. Now I'm going to actually do it with different paper and I'm going to finish the front. I haven't done this one yet. I kind of got a little pattern for it going. It's very cute. And a nice little gift card holder or just a note holder, in there. And it's simple, really simple and easy to make. So that will be fun. I also have another little project that's a box. So we'll see if this goes fast enough, if I can get to the box. If I don't, I'll just do it when I come back. Okay. So anyhow, the paper I am using, I do want to show it to you a little bit. It is, let me grab it down here. It is called Boughs of Holly. Um, it's really pretty. So when you see it, you're going to really love it. And the stamps that I'm using, Merriest Moments, is actually from last year. This one had that cute embossed frame and dies. It's a really pretty set. So I was so glad that they brought it back. It's a really nice one and has some nice leaves and all. I don't know that I'm going to use the actual stamps all that much. We'll see. But that's what I've got this titled under. And I'm going to be running through some stuff. Now, because I'm doing this not live, I have to do this on YouTube instead of Facebook because I don't really know how to do it and hide it on Facebook while I'm doing it and then after and all that. So I'm having to kind of scramble to figure it all out. So I'm going to put my camera down and then we will see if I can. Actually, I can't just put it down because I forgot. If I do that, everything will be backwards. So I'm going to have to switch it around and then switch my camera around. So I apologize for all of the nuttiness of all of this. You get to see my house as I flip-flop. And then I'm going to try to flip-flop back again. I can't really see what you see all that easily, but I'm going to give it a good go here and see if I can get everything positioned in there well enough. All right, so I'm going to put it up pretty high just to be sure that I am not hiding a bunch of things that I'm actually working on. So here's my host code. If you order with me, I will be happy to send you free cards, and that number of cards goes up. And right now, if you're thinking about having other people do your Christmas cards for you, here you go. Be a quick and easy way. Now, this is my little template that I did first, so I need to get my sticky note out of that because that has my measurements on it. And then look at this paper. Now, I have used this is the last bit of this one because this is the sheet I started with, and isn't that gorgeous? I love this paper. It's so pretty. I don't care for that side so much because I'm not big. I don't really like camouflage very much anyway, and Christmas camouflage doesn't do a thing for me. But other people might like it. But this side is gorgeous. All the other ones, though, every side for me is really pretty. I'm saving all my little scraps because I'm going to be using those. Isn't this a tree? Aren't those pretty? I have seen a bunch of cards with that on it, and it's really nice. And this is really pretty, too. I like that. It's not really camouflage. I can use that. This is the one I'm going to use today. I love that background. This is so pretty, too, and it goes really well with, it's like a counter punch to this one. Although you'd have to really, like on bags or something, that would look really good. I like it when they have this mottled watercolor background on these cardstocks because it just makes it a lot easier for me to actually use it all up. When there's too busy of a pattern on both sides, sometimes it makes it a little more challenging to do that. All right, so that is the paper we're using. I'm going to use shaded spruce. It might not be the actual color that's in there. Let me have a look at the package. On the back of all of your DSP packages, it does list your colors so that you can find exactly what they are. And this says it is shaded spruce, evening evergreen, mossy meadow, and old olive. So you're pretty safe with most of the colors you've got I thought actually garden green would go really well, and then when I got my garden green out, it didn't really. So shaded spruce is a better option for that. So I'm going to slide these underneath here for now while I get started. And don't forget, oops, I got my cutting board. Oh, man, that is loud. Don't forget, right now we are doing Celebration. It is on for another month. And I keep looking up to see if everything's in focus here, and I feel a little nervous about it in case it's not, but hopefully it is. All right, and so this is a really easy project to make. You're going to be amazed at how quick and easy it goes. Did I already lose my sticky note? No, there it is. Okay. All right, so what you are going to do is you are first of all going to cut one sheet at 11.5 inch. 11.5? This is 11. I can't get it at 11.5. Why? Why did I not notice that? That means I have to select. You know, you don't have to do it that way. You can double it up. I'm going to look and see if I have a large. I do have a lot of 12 by 12 cardstock laying around here, and I am going to look and see if I happen to have that particular color of cardstock. I might have it. I do have some old olive. Let me grab what I've got. Aha, there's some shaded spruce. All right, so you do need a 12 by 12 sheet. You don't have to have 12 by 12. You can do this as, you know, 2 cards together, but it doesn't work as good, so I wouldn't recommend it. I wish I had noticed that. That's so funny. I didn't think it was 11. It's not 11. Did I resize it? I don't think that's really 11.5. I think that's 11. It is. What a ding-dong. So I have resized this. Apparently I resized it from someone else's project. That also is 11. That is so funny. I resized it, but I did not alter the instructions. So now that I know that, let us change this. It is not 11.5. It is 11 inches by 5.5. Huh. So the card would have come out bigger. And you know what? I kind of vaguely remember that when I first made this card, I looked at it and thought that's too big. That's not going to fit in an envelope. So I need that to be sized down to a I don't need my big sheet, to a regular 8.5 by 11 inch sheet. Okay, so now it's 11 inches this way by 5.5. So we're going to go ahead over here to 5.5. Okay, and save this because you're going to need this for your little pocket on the inside. And then tip it around here to the left, and then we're going to score each end. So we're going to score this side, and then we're going to flip it and score again on this side just because it'll be easier for me with the measurements. So we're going to score each end at 3.5 inches. So there's one, and then I'm going to whip it out, and we're going to do 3.5 on this side. Okay, and then that is our little folder right there, and this is going to go on top of this one down underneath. So it's opening up like a regular card. Now take your extra piece that you had here, and we're going to turn this into a pocket. This is a 4-inch, and it's going to be 2 3/4 of an inch across. So I'm going to cut just a little bit of it off, 2 3/4. It only cuts off about 1/4 of an inch, and then by 4. Oops, let me flip that. By 4 inches, and then you still have this strip that you will use. Don't, because I'm gonna, later what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this die, and you can actually barely fit your die on that uncut strip if you didn't cut it all the way down. So this is gonna use up your one whole sheet of cardstock, really. I thought I needed 2, but I didn't. Now you're gonna wanna you're going to score 3 sides. So leave one side unscored, and you're going to score 1/4 of an inch on each side for this little pocket. Now in the catalog we have this adorable little mini pocket, and I like that little pocket. It's cute. Its orientation though is going the wrong way. It's a portrait pocket, and I want a horizontal pocket. So we're going to make this a little pocket. Take your scissors and just clip out your ends, making a little angle there, just a little one. You don't need a big one. Coming right at that corner. Okay, just so you have a little angle, and then we are going to glue this right onto the card. So I hope your day is going well. Ours is beautiful out there. Oh boy, we've got nice temperatures today. We've had over 100-degree weather for a couple of, I don't know, probably actually over 100. It's been not all that many days. To me, it's not that many. It's probably been 4 maybe days total, but that's over like 2 weeks, and so for me that's not that big a deal. But I just end up staying inside a lot, but it did feel nice outside. I didn't even go and work out because I've decided it's so nice out. I am going to take my bike and go on a nice long bike ride this morning, and I did. It was so nice. There was I went a little early because normally I would be working out during that time, and I was curious to see if there'd be more people on our path. I take a path to the botanical garden, and sometimes it gets kind of crowded. Usually it's not. Most of the way I don't see anybody. I usually only see people here and there on the path. It's actually very uncrowded compared to other places I've been. Okay, so you're going to just lay that down there, hold that on there, press it down, make sure that glue seals really well. You can, if you're worried about it, get your fabric, wooden clothespins and pin it on there to hold, but it's going to stay. I'm not too worried about that. And then we want the little DSP pocket on here. So the DSP, let's measure it. I'm not exactly sure what it's going to end up being. I want it to go all the way to the edge. So let's do, should be 3 3/4, but it's not. Oh, because I have the other side too. So it's 3 1/2. 3 1/2 by 2 3/8-ish. Kind of by 2 3/8. Okay, so I'm going to check out my paper. So I decided I want to use these two, and I'm going to use this one on this side, and I'm going to use this one on this side. But because I'm going to do that, I think I'm going to use this one on these 2 sides, and maybe this one on that pocket. I don't know. I think I better use this to be on the safe side, and then I can cover it if I change my mind. We'll see. I'm not sure on that one. I'm not really sure. So let's go ahead. First of all, let me cut all of these pieces because I want to make sure I have plenty of it cut out. So we know it is 5 1/2, so we're going to cut it at 5 1/4, and then let's see what these sides need to be. Since I didn't write these down, did I? No, I did. 3 1/4. Let's check it and make sure I'm accurate. Okay, 3 1/4 is correct. So I want to cut it at 5 1/4 or 1/4. First of all, I'm going to need 3 of them, so I'm going to just cut that whole length, and then 3 1/4. And then I'm going to test that piece and make sure that's actually right. Because I don't want too much of the border showing. That's pretty good, though. Let's look at the inside. Looking good. How about this side? Pretty good. Okay, so that is going to work out fine. I need 3 of those. So 5 1/4 by 3 1/4. And one more of those. And then we're going to do 1 of those with this paper. But just 1. So 5 1/4. I'm not going too far because I don't want to get the whole paper going there. Let's put you down here by 3 1/4. There we go. And then I'll decide if I want to use my pocket at a different color or not. You do end up with this little strip, and I would hang on to it. In fact, I might even want that for the pocket. Who knows? But if you could bring one character to life from your favorite book, who would it be? If you could bring one. I'm thinking about that just because it's Christmas time, right? And who's one of my favorite characters is Pickwick from the Dickens stories. Like I'm thinking, Charles Dickens and Ebenezer Scrooge and all that. Well, Pickwick is actually one of my all-time favorite characters. He's really funny. If you've never read any of those stories, you should. You would really like it. Oh, this one's going to go on the bottom. So it's going to go like this. And then this one is going to go on the top. Okay? Now, I did want to show you the split card textures. There's only 2 dies in this set. This is a standalone die set that's in Stampin' Up's catalog right now in the annual one, the big one, and it's really a cool card. I know I've used it before, so I took that die. There's both of them are really nice. This one's nice too, but I prefer this one. It's really neat because it just shows through your pattern really nicely. And what I'm going to do is, let's just glue this on so you can see what we're going to do with that. Put this on the front. Pickwick is very, very funny, and he's a very innocent character. He gets into all kinds of trouble, but it's not because he does things he shouldn't. He's actually very upright, but he's a very trustworthy person, trusting too, and so he gets into all kinds of trouble because he believes what people are telling him. So he's just a really likable character, and they do have a Pickwickian Christmas. So if you're looking for amusing little stories to read, get those Pickwick papers out. They're so funny, and there's a Christmas stories part of it that's, Dickens wrote his stuff, got paid by the word, so it's wordy and lengthy, but it's not nonsense words. They are all good words. You're going to enjoy reading it. It was, I have a friend who we went to Bible study together, and realized pretty early on as we went through book club to read together that the modern stories oftentimes the length of them were long, like our beloved books, but the actual printing was large in the book and large margins, and it was pretty funny because they didn't have nearly as many actual words to it. I'm going to put this on top here. You can see this is uneven. I'm going to have to trim that, but mostly I am going to tear this edge because this is the other reason I really like this die. It's a very user-friendly die to the tearing technique. Now, I could wet this if I was concerned about tearing. I'm going to tear. How I want to tear is up and away. I had to start it going the other way just to make sure, because it's such a delicate die. I didn't want to tear into that accidentally. But the reason you want to tear away is because you want the layers of torn paper. I'm going to stand up here so you can see what I'm talking about. I've probably done this before. I want to get pretty close to that edge. If I go into it, it's not going to matter. But again, if you wet it a little bit, it makes this easier. So when you're a beginner trying tearing, I would really recommend wetting it a bit, but it's not necessary. Now you want to tear up and away because then you get those wonderful roughed up edges on top. Otherwise, those edges are on the bottom, like where I had to start it there. Boy, my nails are looking bad. I got to get new polish going here. That's from the 4th of July, so they are old. That's old polish. Is that my 4th of July? Seemed like I had something else for the 4th of July. Maybe this is the few days after the 4th, but I thought this was my 4th of very patriotic. 4th of July polish. Okay. I'm going to be very patriotic a lot this summer because I think I have a red version of this that I still am going to wear. And then I also have, they had a really cool plaid. This is that Color Street stuff. I really like it. They're easy to use. Okay. Now I went in there accidentally, but it just kind of adds to the aged effect. So I am not at all concerned about it. And I'm going to put that right on there, but I do need to trim those edges to the max. This one, I don't really want to trim, but I'm having a hard time getting that. I do have, if I, was here all by myself and not worried about grossing somebody out, I might just lick it. Who knows? But just so that I'm not freaking you out, I'll use my little aqua painter and just wet that a tiny. I think I'm gonna. There's water in there. There we go. It came out on my paper. And then by wetting it, it's going to be a little easier to tear. I say as I still struggle. Maybe not. You can roll. That is another technique. You can just kind of roll it and make it go the size you want. Just roll it up there. When it's wet, it does that easily. Now this side, I'm going to use the trimmer. I don't really want it to be a cobbled edge. I'd like it to be nice and straight. But I want it really close to the edge, so I'm actually lining it up right here against this gray portion. Hold it down nice and tight so it doesn't shift, because when there's that small of a piece there to grab onto, it can shift. All right, now we're going to stick this on here. Isn't this pretty? This one's over on the side enough that it's not going to show hardly at all here. And if you don't want it to show at all, then you can move it all the way over. Oh, it still shows a bit. I might actually just trim you off, like right there. There we go. And then we don't have to worry about it showing at all, because I don't really want it to show. Now, if I had cut this out with our adhesive-backed paper, I could have laid the paper on the cardstock, cut it, and then peeled the backing off, and this would be all ready to stick down. But you know what? I have a really hard time with adhesive like that. It's really strong. It sticks one time, and it's definitely not repositionable. So I have trouble with it. It works great. It's not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just operator error. So I use a lot of glue on little things like this, and then I'm very sticky, so I'll have to get my little handy wipe out to wipe my hands. This is why it's nice for you to make your purchase, get cards like this for free from people like me. We're getting ourselves all sticky and buying all the stuff. You don't even have to buy all the stuff. You could buy get a bunch of nice cards made all for you. There, sticky, sticky. Right now, when you buy $50 worth of stuff through the end of August, you get a whole bunch of really cool celebration items. For every $50 you order, you get a free celebration thing, and there's some really cute ones out there, so I would encourage you to do it. Now, isn't that pretty? So on the inside, we're going to just put these. Again, I could have used this side, but I really like those poinsettias. poinsettias are so pretty. I went down to the park and just, oh man, because it was cooler, enjoyed it. Oh, look, smelled all the roses, but there weren't very many. It's been hot, so the roses are kind of diminishing a little bit in, you know, size and in amount, but there still were some. They do not have as many highly scented ones as I had in my garden back home. So when we are finally at the planting stage, I am going to have to plant probably about 5 of my favorite smelly roses because I do miss being able to go out and sniff. They're really nice. They have everything else except for lilacs. I'm a big scent fiend, so I am going to have to plant lilacs as well. Now, this is not the piece I cut for this. Where did you go? I've lost you. Did I throw it away? I must have put it in the package that I was saving with extras because I sure don't see it laying around. Huh, that is funny. I don't see my extra pieces. Well, I guess I'll just have to cut then. I don't see it. I'm sure it's hiding underneath here somewhere. That's what is always happening. When I'm finished with these, I always find pieces all over the place. Okay, this isn't wide enough. I can make it work. So we'll just have a border showing. And I actually didn't intend to do that. I could have it go all the way across. Let's do that. I'll just do a little snip where we want it. Where was that little snip? There it is. All right, and now, oh, it didn't quite cut there, did it? Okay, here's another joke for you. If you and your dog could understand each other for 1 minute, what would you say to your dog? And what do you think your dog would say to you? Now, I know we don't have a dog, but of course, Jeff and I both grew up having dogs. That's why we don't have a dog. We like dogs, but we like them in other people's homes where other people are taking care of them and we can go visit and then leave and not have to worry about them. It would say, why aren't you feeding me? I'm hungry. I want to eat. Anything at all I'll be happy to eat. I would be saying, do not chew on my slippers ever again. Now you know why we don't have dogs, because there are issues, right? Okay, so now that we have that done, you're ready for whatever you want. Now you can put a nice little note in there. You can do all kinds of stuff. Here's the dies that go with the Merriest Moments stamp set. It has this little pocket thing. This is an embossed deal that goes, which is quite large, as you can see. It's not really going to fit on here. I don't want that. It's way too big. So I'm actually not using these dies with this card. It cuts and embosses in one go, though, because it cuts it out. There's an embossing folder that goes with it. But it does have this nice little stitched rectangle die that's a good size. So I am actually going to just use that. And we will put our sentiment on there. Won't that be cute? All right, so let's see here. Let's see what we want. There's together is the merriest place to be. That's cute. Oh, let's do this so we can have it directioned this way. Thinking of you this festive season. I really like the word joy and the berries and all. It's really pretty. This one has really nice leaves and everything. Everything about this set is really nice. I could use green, but let's go ahead and use real red. Very, very cute. Today when I started on this story and got distracted by billions of things, as I always do, but there was a dog well, actually there were two people walking their dog, and the dog was like right in the middle. I'm gonna go over here and cut this out. No, wait, let's stamp around it before I cut it out, because I want to go outside of that a little bit. So I don't need to do a poinsettia. I think we'll just stick with the leaves. And we better stick with shaded spruce too, since that's the green I've got going. So we'll just stick with shaded spruce. But anyway, he was obviously a young dog. I saw him pulling the lady along. She had the leash, and she literally was being pulled along by him. And this has like 3 sizes, and they're all really cool. Let's do one at a time here. See what we get. That's very dark. That's better. Okay. So we'll stamp off. We'll go there. Oops, let's do that again. There. And there. We'll do a smaller one. That one's a little bit on the large side. So I slowed way down, thankfully, because I could see it was hard to manage. They were around a curve, and they probably didn't really see me. And then I came right up on him, and the dog, she was pulling him, trying to get him out of the way frantically, because sometimes people are really flying on their bikes through there. And she said, I'm trying to get him out of the way. I could see she was. But his nose was to the ground, and they were right in front of me, so I had to go, way out and away and around, and which was fine. And I said, oh, I see. Now, that is pretty important, because he had his nose right on a turtle. There was a turtle about this big on the edge of the path, and he was a young dog. And I had already been alerted to the fact that there were probably people, like earlier, as I even got near, because I saw a rabbit bounding away. Now, there's these little holly berries, too, very cute. And, yeah, anyway, it was a very cute dog. Well, I won't say cute. He was big, and he was like probably not second generation. Let's go ahead and do the whole schmo. There. Let's go like that. But anyway, now one thing you can do with your berries, if you like, that can make them really pop, is to apply some crystal effects. It'll make them glossy and really gorgeous. I'm not sure how much of the berries will fit in this after I cut it out. We'll see. I'm gonna bring it back. I'll be right back. I'm gonna just hop over here rather than bringing my machine all the way over there. I am gonna just cheat and do it this way. They were very relieved that I wasn't all cranky about them being on the path. But after all, that path used to be a walking path, I think, long before it was a biker's path. And some of those bikers are, I think, quite rude to people. Isn't this cute? Now, I need a good mat behind it, because it's kind of getting lost with all of this other nonsense. I'm not sure if we want green or red, so let's look at green. I do think we want green. I'm gonna glue it right on there, and then when I cut it, it's gonna be exactly the right size. So I'm not sure if I have a stitched rectangle frame that's gonna be a perfect mat for this. I might, but I'm not sure that I do. This actually is looking pretty correct right there. So all I need to do set the one side. I should be able to handle that. It's a little larger, but not too much. Alright, let's see here. What am I looking at? Oh yeah, here's another one. If you could make either Barbie's clothes or Barbie's dream house or Barbie's car, and I'm going to add in, this book is old enough it doesn't have Barbie's Winnebago. Actually, that's a really old toy because I saw one in our antique shop not long ago, and I remember that was like everybody wanted Barbie's Winnebago. It was so cool. Now, anything of Barbie's that you could have as a life-size version, would you even want it? Would you want it at all? And what if you had to keep it up in that hot pink color? Now, the Winnebago I saw in the antique, it was not hot pink, but I remember the ones I saw were. Oops, I'm using the wrong. You're not supposed to see me using this. I'm supposed to be using my dimensionals. So shame, shame, shame. Let me grab out my dimensionals. I do use those because it actually tends to be, I can cut it at the size that I want, and then I don't have as many of these little backs flying all over the place. So please forgive my indiscretion there. It was your nice gray, typical Winnebago color. All right, let's do this. Now, I do want a ribbon. Let's not do this until I get my ribbon on here, because as you can see, unless I have a Velcro closure or something here, it's not going to stay. I do have Velcro, though. Let's just do the ribbon. Let's get a nice red ribbon. I would not like the hot pink color myself, but you know, you take what you can get. If it's for free, I would take it, and I don't think anybody going with us would complain about having to go around in a hot pink. Hot pink car, or Winnebago for that matter. Okay, so that's going to be plenty of ribbon. I'm just making sure I've got enough on both sides to be able to tie that nicely. Is that the side I want? Yeah. And then we can stick this on here. My sentiment's crooked. How did I do that? All right, now we've got that, and that. You can take your note, you know, your nice white note card that you stamped some nice things on. You can slide it in there. There's lots of room so that you can stamp your other nice things on the side here too. So this is actually just a really pretty special Christmas card that, you know, people are going to know you took time and actually made this card. This is not, you cannot purchase these cards unless you purchase them from me or someone like me. Okay, there we go. And then that's not a nice bow, but I will fix it later and get the ends trimmed here. Oops. Let's try that again. And there. So cute. Okay, here is my box. Now my box, actually, it's quite easy. Now this is the one I needed 2 pieces for. Do I want to do a box? Maybe I don't. Maybe I want to just leave it at this. And then I'll do my box when I come back. Although I did really want to get my box done and out of the way. I think I will just not do it. And we will be finished for today. I am going to do that box though. It's really super cute. So next week, when you see me, now I'm going to flip my camera up and around so that I can see what you see. I'm not sure if I'm in the frame at all now. I have no idea where or who or what. I'm not sure if you can see me, but if you can, great. If not, oh well. I will see you next week. Thank you so much for watching and sharing my videos. I appreciate it. And like I said, I'm on vacation right now, but I will be back next week for real in live on Facebook. Thanks again, and I'll see you later. Bye. Gotta get you off. Bye.